You get in your own way of being able to scale up to larger stuff.
Hello and welcome to Pillars of Wealth Creation, where we talk about creating financial success with a special focus on business and real estate. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. Now, let's get to it.
Hello and welcome back to the Pillars of Wealth Creation. I'm your host, Matt Jones. Todd is taking care of some business today, so I'm going to do a solo episode, and I wanted to talk to you about making the jump from small deals, I'm talking single family, duplexes, tris, fourplexes, up to the bigger stuff. What does it take to make that leap? Because it seems really intimidating, but I can tell you, I've done it myself. Many other people have done it. You can do it too. Essentially, it takes a few different things. And I would say the biggest barrier for most people, including myself, was yourself. You're myself. I mean, you get in your own way of being able to scale up to larger stuff. You know, you get into a mindset of like, hey, what can I afford to get myself or with a partner? What can I handle? What can I wrap my mind around? What can I get approved for a loan? Well, it's the small stuff. Yeah, it makes sense. It's easy to get into. A lot of people get into it. But to go from that to 20 unit or 40 unit or 100 unit or bigger is a much bigger leap. And so it's really hard, it can be at least, to make that mental jump to say like, hey, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. Because I think it was Henry Ford who said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So if you think, I can't make the jump into some bigger stuff, you're right. You're not going to be able to figure it out because you put that own limiting belief upon yourself. But if you approach it from the different attitude of saying, hey, I can do this. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to learn. I'm going to partner with other people who have already successfully done it before and are successfully doing it right now. And I'm going to make it happen one way or the other. Then you're right. You're going to do whatever it takes and be able to make that jump to the bigger stuff. So it really comes down to the first and foremost, overcoming your own limiting belief about what you can or can't do. So once you have that belief, like, yes, I can do it. Next, you got to take the action steps to be able to actually do it. So the next biggest thing I would say is to partner with other people, because real estate, you can do it yourself, but it's just a big pain to do it by yourself. You can go a lot further and a lot faster by partnering with other people. So you want to network with other people who are in the business in larger stuff. So going to meetups, conferences, you're reaching out to podcast guests, reading books from people who have successfully done it. Those are the kind of people you want to get connected with. So you talk with them in person, over the phone, learn from them, add value to them. And that's, how you can kind of bridge connections and make partnerships with people who are currently successfully in the larger stuff. And I mentioned adding value. That's really kind of the first thing you have to do when working with other people. Because if you approach these people who are already successful in the field and you say like, hey, give me your time, give me your knowledge, give me access, that really puts people aback. But if you can approach them instead of like saying, hey, I have this value to offer you, and you don't even expect anything in return, that makes people say like, yes, I like you. I want to work with you. I want to do business with you, or I want to connect you with other people who might be able to do some business with you. So adding value to other people first. And then after that, once you've overcome the mindset and you've started to build some connections, now you have to learn the nitty gritty of it. Because, while there are lots of trials and tribulations and challenges and things to know with the small stuff, it's a whole different game with the big stuff. I mean, yes, some of the same things that you learned with a lot of small stuff is applicable to the bigger stuff, but there's a whole lot more to it, because oftentimes with the big stuff, now you have to bring on many more partners. And if you're going to do it through real estate syndication, then there's a lot of legal aspects that you need to know about as well. It's not just a simple of, hey, I'm going to buy a single family or a duplex by myself and just sign the paperwork and can manage it myself, or maybe hire a property manager. And it's easy speasy. in comparison, at least with the bigger stuff. Because with syndication, you're going to have real estate attorneys, securities attorneys, making sure the paperwork is in order. And then you're going to have to raise capital from investors. You're going to have to make sure you're following the regulatory compliance, because it's a lot more with that than it is with the small stuff. So that's where it comes into, learning from other people and partnering with other people who are currently successful in the field. Like, yes, you can do it all from scratch, but you're going to make all the rookie mistakes, and you might lose your money or lose your investors' money. That's why you're far better off partnering with other people. And so I can tell you, none of this stuff is rocket science. Even rocket science you can learn, but real estate is much easier than learning rocket science. Lots of people have done it before, so you don't have to be a genius, is what I'm saying, to be able to learn it. There's so much information that is available, even for free out there now, that there wasn't 10, 15 years ago. So the information is accessible, at least the basics, to learn from podcasts, webinars, meetup groups, conferences, that sort of thing. Or you can join masterminds, or hire a coach or a mentor, or pay to join a group of people, or you can add value to them to be able to join as well, in some way, shape, or form, because those sort of things are going to propel you faster than going at it alone. So I don't recommend trying it on your own. You can do it, but it's going to be terrible, painful experience for you. So joining with other people, learning those nitty gritty, read some books. I would say probably the best book I've read about real estate syndication is the Joe Fairless and Theo Hicks book. It's the best ever apartment syndication book, I think it's called. So it's a long book. It's 400 some pages, but well worth every reading every single page. It doesn't cover everything in depth, of course, because there really is a lot to know, but at least gives you a good overview of the kind of things. And learning all this stuff, by reading books or hearing it from other people is great and all, but it doesn't replace actually doing the work. So get yourself involved in some deals, whether you are able to bring some capital to the table. Like maybe you start out just as a passive investor and invest passively in somebody else's real estate syndication in a larger deal. That's an easy way for you to start getting involved in bigger stuff, where you don't have to actually do any work. Of course, you want to make sure that the deal is good and the person or people with whom you're investing are good and experienced. But you don't have to oversee the property management or the construction, or renovating the units, or executing the business plan or anything like that. You can just kind of sit along for the ride and watch and learn from what's going on with that particular deal. So that's actually how my first larger deal, that's what I started doing when I was learning syndication. I was learning stuff, but also I started passively investing to learn the ropes from there. And then you can start trying to be on the active general partnership side of a larger deal. And again, you have to add value. You can't just ask for a free handout to be able to be actively part of a bigger deal. You have to either raise capital or find deals, or know something about property management, or renovating units, or some kind of thing where you can add value to other people. And so when you're looking for partners who you can add value, think about what kind of things you add value to, what the kind of things and you can do, and find people who aren't very good at those things and partner with them. Or maybe they're having a lack of that particular skill set on their team. You can jump in. So maybe one of the easiest things is to, if you can, raise capital, because every deal needs some capital to make it happen. So if you are able to raise capital, or you can learn how to do it, oftentimes that's an easy way to start at least joining the general partnership of these larger deals. But you just got to figure out what's your niche. What are you good at? What can you learn? Go with those. So again, you can make the leap. If your mindset is what's holding you back, that's probably the biggest hurdle of all. If you can overcome that, everything else is learnable, teachable. You can figure it out, but partner with other people along the way. So that's what it really comes down to with making the jump from small stuff to big stuff. I did it. Todd did it. You can do it. You just have to be willing to do what it takes to make that happen. If you want to have a conversation with me to help you to figure out what you need to do, I'm more than happy to. I mean, you can reach out to me. My email is matt@hawkwingcapital.com. Send me an email. We can schedule a time to talk. I'm happy to help you. So, this has been a great episode. I love talking about this kind of stuff. And as always, make every day a Saturday.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you being a loyal listener. I would love to have you go on to our Facebook page and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, go on to iTunes or wherever you listen and give us a rating and review. Don't forget to subscribe. Your rating and review just helps us push this out to more and more people and continue to grow our audience and hopefully positively affect a ton of people out there that really need this and want this. So the other thing I've got for you is a free ebook on my website. So go on to venturedproperties.com, and download our free ebook on real estate and on syndication. And I've got some data points in there, some really good stuff for you. So I'd love to have you take a look at that. It's free. I'm not expecting anything from it. And also, look, if you want some help in multifamily, want some help learning, growing, getting your business off the ground, I would love to talk to you about what it would look like to work with me potentially and see if that's a good fit. So you can go to coachwithdex.com and check that out, and we can definitely have a call. Thanks a lot for listening. You make it a fantastic rest of the day. I'll catch you on the next episode.